Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Amber, she, her pronouns. I am going to be running Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Waves 1 and 2, the DLC for you today. Solo commentary. We did have a bid war for character choice that I forgot about until I got here. What is the results of that, Helix, or do we want to wait just a little bit longer?
All right, we're going to go ahead and call it now here.
Solid.
So we have 25 went to DK, 21 to Waluigi, and the winner with 80, Roy.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. All right, so we're going to be using Roy, the best character. Roy, Waluigi, and Donkey Kong all have the same stats, but I play better with Roy. I couldn't explain it other than I'm just used to playing with Roy. Anyways, this is our rule set. We're using no items, hard computers, because that way we'll run into them less, because we'll be lapping them less. Courses in order, so we don't have to menu between stuff. 16 races, because that's how many tracks we're doing. Time starts when I hit OK on Paris Promenade in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So, this is 200cc, no items. We are going as fast as possible, and no items are going to be slowing us down. However, we do start in last place for the very first race. That does mean we start with 5 coins, though, and coins are really important throughout this entire run. I am going to be trying to collect 10 as quickly as possible. Got off to a kind of slow start, so I'm still behind Donkey Kong here. Hopefully we can still get... No? Okay. Well, it's not the end of the world. Starting with 5 means that we'll be able to pick up some other coins here that will get us up to 10 pretty quick. It is going to be the start of lap 2 that we actually get to 10. No, we're going to get 10 right here. I know where the coins are, I swear. Okay. So this is Paris Promenade. This is a Mario Kart Tour track. All of the tracks in this DLC are upscaled versions of the Mario Kart Tour tracks. They have upscaled assets. They look a little bit nicer than they do on Mario Kart Tour. I do want to say I don't recommend playing Mario Kart Tour. It is a gacha game with fairly predatory monetization, and those games are generally, not so great. They definitely want to take your money, but it's really nice. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we get to play those tracks now because they are genuinely interesting tracks, and for the tour tracks, we are going to drive part of it backwards because that is the way that the track is laid out. You see those red arrows there that are blocking our way. If we run into those, Lakitu will pick us up. There was a technique that I could have done there called a glider vector. I kind of was talking over myself and didn't think about it, so I didn't do it. And that would have been the only one we would have seen in the run. There is a specific technique that works mostly for 150cc, where you drift off of a glider instead of tricking. It's a little bit faster. I spaced out and didn't do it. That's okay, though. Next up, we have Toad Circuit here. This is a track from the 3DS. It's fairly boring, but it does let me explain some drifting tech. This track's about a minute long, maybe a little bit longer. I didn't get a full boost here, which is also frustrating, but whatever. Donkey Kong ran into a wall, so we got ahead anyways. So there are 3 main drifting tech things in this game, more than just like pressing R or ZR and putting a direction. If we input the direction late, and we actually delay our drift until we're starting to fall, we end with a slide. And that slide saves a little bit of time. It helps us charge to the first tier of drifting faster. In addition to that, if we are holding our control stick at, there's a specific range of angles that charges our drift a little bit faster. They're called soft drift angles. Soft drifting is going to be used throughout the entire run on almost every turn. It lets us turn not quite as sharp so that we can take wider turns a little bit better while still charging our drift as quickly as possible. And the last thing is neutral stick drifting. If we are not inputting the drifts, if we are not inputting left or right at all, it's select, we're drifting to the left or drifting to the right, and then let go of the analog stick, that'll actually make us drive a little bit faster, but we won't charge our drift as quickly. It's really good for wider turns where you're not necessarily able to charge to the 3rd tier of drift, the Ultra Mini Turbo. Here we have Choco Mountain. This is a good example of a Mario Kart Tour track because this is not the Choco Mountain from the N64. This is the Choco Mountain from Mario Kart Tour. So I'm doing a little counter hop there to change my alignment so that I can get those 3 coins. If I didn't do that little hop, I wouldn't be able to get those coins on a fairly good line. And then here's a glider that we will normally trick off of. And that cave section, from what I understand, is... Oh, that was close. is not in the N64 version. I actually barely played the N64 as a kid, so I don't really know the tracks too well, but that's okay. I know them on Mario Kart 8, and they're pretty fun. They're pretty fast. Because coins respawn in Versus Race, we're able to pick up some more points there. And we should get up to 10 through this glider section here. This track has global cycles or track cycles from when we load into the track. That's why it was really close when I hit that that one rock. Or actually, I didn't get hit by it, but I almost did. Lap 2 is usually pretty safe, and then lap 3 has one on the second boulder spot that we might get hit, but I think we're going a little slow, so we should be okay. I don't think we're gonna get hit by it. That might have just jinxed us to get hit by it, but hopefully not. And I actually never got up to 10 coins. That is my mistake. There we go. Yeah, you can... Oh my goodness. My hand just kind of slipped and wasn't thinking. Oh gosh. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. Everything's fine, everything's fine. Don't worry about it, we're fine. Little bit of improv there as I input a drift a little bit wrong and turned a little too tight right away and fell off the track. That is a thing that can happen. Falling off the track loses anywhere from 2.5 to 5 seconds, depending on where you fall on a track. If you have to boost right afterwards, then you're losing more time because you're not getting that boost. If it's just like a minor thing where you were on a straightaway anyways, then it's a little bit less significant. Here we have Coconut Mall. This track has really good music, but it is very frustrating on Mario Kart 8 as opposed to Mario Kart Wii, where it was a fan favorite. I mean, it still is a fan favorite casually, but this track is a nightmare on 200cc. It has gravity wells. There are specific points of this track and a lot of other tracks in the DLC where gravity is stronger than it is on the rest of the track. It's like fairly selective, and that's mostly just to make the tricks work properly. Like you can see, I'm very floaty right here, but when I go over this fountain, I'm going to fall down pretty quickly. Same with right here. I kind of slam back onto the ground after these fountains, and that's because there's more gravity after these specific trick areas. And right there where I tricked, there wasn't any. You can see that I don't slam down until the very end of that spot as well. These gravity wells are basically the only reason why these tracks work on 200cc. And if you pay attention, you'll be able to see them on other tracks, but this is the only track where I'm going to actually mention it, because it's the track where it's the most obvious. Yeah, so coins are really, really important, but a lot of these tracks have really, really tight drifts and are very precise. And so getting coins, while it should be a priority, surviving the track is equally important. Since these tracks are all newer, strats haven't been developed nearly as much. They're still being developed, is what I mean to say, and the strategies that I'm using are more safe than anything else. They're not necessarily the fastest strats, but that's okay. Next up, we have Tokyo Blur. This is another track from Mario Kart Tour. Paris Promenade, we did the same thing in the first 2 laps and then went backwards in lap 3. In this track, we have 3 different paths to take, all in each lap. And in the other tour tracks later, we are also going to be taking different paths all 3 laps. So coins are fairly easy on this track as long as you are paying attention, and I did miss one, but that's not the end of the world. Or maybe I missed a couple. It's alright though. We have 8 already, which means that we should be able to pick up 2 more in lap 2 and not have to go wide for that section. So now we are going to the right here and then to the left. We can pick up these 2 coins and then start another drift, and we're back onto this section of the track. Do a drift onto there but not get a mini turbo, then trick, and we take a tighter line to get around there, and that saves time versus going wide for those coins, because we don't need those coins, we already have 10. Lap 3 we go right and then right again, and now we're over here. We're gonna do another super mini turbo, a counter hop to change our alignment, a mini turbo, and then this one's gonna be a very long, slightly neutral drifty, but also kind of pushing in so that we don't go too wide for a UMT. You can also get a glider vector there, but it's very, very difficult. Again, I know I mentioned glider vectors. I'm not actually going to be doing any during this run. That was the last opportunity that I would ever go for them. I'm sure there are others throughout here, but yeah, they are very difficult. This track, Shroom Ridge, is incredibly difficult. There's only one pattern for the cars, but it is very, very precise and very fast, and the turns are very, very tight. So I am going to stop commentating so that I can actually focus a little bit more. I'm going to highlight that I am going to be braking around a lot of these turns so that I can take the lines a little bit faster. And when I'm brake drifting, I'm drifting and then holding A and then tapping B or pressing B. And of course, that would happen. This track is very, very difficult. Now I'm going to focus just so that I can maybe get through the rest of it without getting hit. That was very close. Okay. I need to focus for the next 2 laps. Yeah. Okay.
Hey Amber, can I sneak in a donation?
Absolutely.
Well, I've got $5 from Andy that says, "Greetings, Amber, from an airplane. Can't wait to see you. Big luck on the run."
Thank you so much. Oh gosh, this has been awful. This Shroom Ridge is just terrible. This is my least favorite track in all of the DLC. It is just brutally difficult. If you have any more donations, feel free to read them.
We are still waiting for them to come in as the PayPal API issues have been resolved, so we should be able to start getting your donations in full now. So make sure you're donating. We have the Pokemon run coming up soon has a bid war for the names, so get those donations in.
Okay, Shroom Ridge is a miserable, miserable track, and that was fairly slow, but I did survive. Woo! Oh my goodness. Okay. Next up we have Sky Garden, which is a track from Mario Kart Super Circuit on the Game Boy. This track has a fairly cool bit of tech called a super bounce on it that I'm not going to be going for because I've literally never practiced it. I'm going to be taking very safe strats on this track because they're very consistent safe strats. You can do a weird drift on that mushroom and cut that corner right over there. And I should probably practice that at some point. I'm gonna drift off of that little tiny nub of the beanstalk bridge or whatever you want to call it, and that's gonna help me turn a little bit more in a straight line, which will help me align myself for that little skip that I already did and I'm going to do for the next 2 laps as well. Now we're at 10 coins. I'm gonna brake drift a little bit around that corner because it's a little faster. Then get an SMT there, start the drift, hit that little nub, and there we go. That was very, very good. The gliders on this, airspeed and ground speed are fairly similar, and so it's less important that I get back onto the ground as quickly as possible and more important that I just make everything as smooth as possible. I don't want to be generating extra speed downwards because downwards isn't forwards. That was also very good without hitting the nub, so that's very good. And now I'm just going to glide into the finish line. That was a very, very good Sky Garden. All right. Next up, we have the last track of Wave 1. This is Ninja Hideaway. This track has a really, really cool skip, and then it has another skip that is a little bit more well-known that was discovered right away before the game was even available in North America. Because Wave 1 had a staggered release. It was available in Japan several hours before everywhere else. So I'm going to get a Super Mini Turbo here, hop over that line, hold back, then go forward, bash my face into the wall, break that cutout, and that gets me into this, which would normally require a mushroom without using a mushroom. It is only faster in lap 1 because of strats where you can go upstairs in laps 2 and 3. This track has some cycles that are very difficult. Also this skip. That one is a little bit more well-known and is also really cool looking. But we're going to go upstairs here and not go for that cutout skip. I will go for the cutout skip again in lap 3 if anything goes wrong in lap 2 because the timing is a little bit tighter. Hopefully I'll have a smooth Ninja Hideaway. Fingers crossed. Oh, okay, wow, that was very close. The longer you stay on that little burst of air, the better. And I was barely on it at all, but we still managed to be okay, and I'm going to just go upstairs for lap 3. Because our timings are pretty good here, it seems like. Yep, absolutely safe. Lovely, love to see it. I'm really glad that I got the Ninja Hideaway cutout skip and managed to keep my cycles fairly good to go upstairs in laps 2 and 3. That is a lot faster. Do a counter hop and trick there. SMT, counter hop, and trick there. And that's Ninja Hideaway. That was great. That was excellent. Yeah, that was wonderful. My personal best for Wave 1 is a 13:30 on the finish line there. Shroom Ridge was really bad, so I don't think that that was PB pace, but I don't have a timer with me, so I don't actually know. Regardless, now we're moving on to Wave 2. I like Wave 2 a little bit more, personally. I think the tracks are a little bit more fun to play. This is New York Minute. We're going to do one drift here on a fairly straightaway, and that's all right. We're going to hold back, then go forward in to get 2 or 3 coins. Get another mini turbo to get these 2. Ninja Hideaway, much like Tokyo Blur and the upcoming Sydney Sprint, they all have 3 different paths that we'll take. So, gonna get an SMT. Oh, jeepers, that's not great. Oh well, improv, you know? Need to every once in a while. We're gonna go wide for these coins. Ooh, that's also unfortunate. Oh, I am choking this New York Minute pretty hard. By the way, this little garden section there is just a sorry excuse for Central Park. I'm gonna get a mini turbo there. I'm gonna try for a drift where I go very wide and get an... Yes, perfect. Get a UMT there without hitting anything. That is actually really tight. Then I'm going to get another UMT here and hop over this grass. And that's just a nice little skip. Get a mini turbo, align myself, and then I'm gonna just drift off of this because of the way that everything is lined up. Get an SMT and head to the finish line. That's New York Minute. The next track is Mario Circuit 3 from the Super Nintendo, and today is actually Mario Kart's 30th anniversary. Super Mario Kart was released on August 27th, 1992, I suppose. This track is really, really satisfying, and I just bullied Donkey Kong really hard. Oh my goodness. Okay, get that UMT. Get that SMT. Oh wow, that was tight. I had to brake drift a lot there. I'm gonna get a UMT around these, counter hop to set myself up for that drift there. And this track's pretty standard, so if you want to read any more donations that you have, now would be a really good time.
Awesome. We do have a couple in here. We have $20 from MBC64 that says, Roy!
Yes, Roy is the best character. Roy is our boy.
And I have $10 from our friend Seldom Seen Kid that says, good afternoon, gamers.
Good afternoon, gamer. In addition to being pretty good at Mario Kart, I'm also known for tweeting a variation of Good Morning Gamers every morning. Never the same tweet twice.
And I'll just say, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
It's a genuine highlight of the morning.
Good, I'm glad. I'm starting to run out of ideas. We might start seeing some repeats. That's okay, though. That was Mario Circuit 3, a pretty simple track that I played pretty alright. Next up we have Calamari Desert. This is also a tour version of Calamari Desert for sure. It's kind of a hybrid of a couple different things, but it does have a reference to the skip where you go into the train tracks tunnel. As you can see from the map on the right hand side, things look a little funky. We're gonna get an SMT here and then a mini turbo trick off of that ramp. I didn't get the mini turbo, but I did get the trick. Gonna get another mini turbo here. This drift is absolutely miserable. I'm gonna trick here, get another mini turbo, and then start this drift and just hope. And I have a bad line. Okay, I had to kind of take evasive maneuvers, but we're fine. Everything's fine. That lap one was okay. I played it safe. I didn't hit the off-road, so that's good. I'm glad that I stopped that drift before it got really bad. I am going to have to do that drift again in lap 3. But lap 2 gets a little funky. As you can see, this ramp here, counter hop and trick, and this train, hitting that train is terrible, and avoiding it often ends up with you into the dirt like I was just there. But you can see entering the tunnel gets me to lap 3 here. Alternate path type situation. Get a UMT and a mini turbo and another mini turbo here, and we're gonna try this big drift again. This looks a lot better. So I'm gonna get an SMT by holding back the entire way. Mini turbo to the finish line. That's Calamari Desert. Okay. So far this run is going pretty well, I think. It's had a couple problem spots, but nothing too terrible. Next up, we have Waluigi Pinball. This is the longest track in the game, and I want to give a flashing lights warning for the start of every lap. This cannon here is kind of awful. So just be aware. It gives me a headache, at least. I'm kind of looking away as long as I can, and then tucking in to do a neutral drift around here, holding in just enough to charge an SMT, and then going around this wall. You do have to brake drift a little around this. The cycles on this track, the marbles that are in the very end area, are very annoying, and we're gonna see what my pace looks like right here. I think we're probably good to not get hit. I'm gonna try. I should not have tried. That's all right. I gambled a little bit. You know, it's pinball. You gotta take risks every once in a while. But this track has one cycle, and now I am well off cycle, so I'm going to be more or less sight reading this track. It is a very, very difficult track. It's also, again, the longest track in the game. The 200cc record, I want to say, is a 1 minute 49 second time, and the 150cc time is well over 2 minutes, and I don't think it'll ever get under 2 minutes. Don't get hit by that one. Go around. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this track is very, very annoying. As soon as you get off cycle, everything can go wrong. I really shouldn't have said that the run was going pretty well after Calamari Desert, apparently. But we have one more lap here, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. I'm gonna maybe focus for this last lap. Okay, nothing too bad, nothing too bad, nothing too bad, something bad. We're fine, everything's fine. We're fine, Whew. What a track, what a track. That, yeah, that was not a great Waluigi Pinball, but it's okay. You know, not every track can be good. Next up we have Sydney Sprint. This track is amazing. Probably my favorite track of this wave. Apparently, this is a fairly good representation of Sydney. It has a lot of recognizable places that are fairly accurate to what they actually look like, so that's pretty neat. Obviously, we have Sydney Opera House here, looking very, very good. Getting a trick there. Wow, I've actually never hit the ceiling there. That's never happened before. I said the line. Okay, so I'm gonna get this coin, and then that coin. I'm gonna start the drift right after that coin, hold back a bit, get the SMT, do an extra hop, mini turbo there, get all three of these, hold for a UMT, start this drift on that line, mini turbo, hop and trick again. There we go. This little back and forth section is very, very difficult. So SMT, do one hop. I have to brake a lot around these corners. Well, not a lot, just a little bit actually. It's okay. And then this section's really cool. I'm gonna trick, and then not trick, and then start a drift, mini turbo, trick, and get over that ramp. So I just kind of did a drift in a straight line. That is very, very difficult. You can do it mirrored in lap 3, but the timing is even more tight, and I'm not going to be going for it because it is too tough to do in a marathon. One counter hop and a mini turbo. I'm gonna just get a super mini turbo, do a couple tricks, trick early here so that I can hit that last one, because otherwise I'm going too fast and I would fly right over, and I do want that speed boost. Gonna trick here, try to land early, start a drift without a mini turbo to trick, start a drift again and get it, and that is Sydney Sprint. I love this track, it's super, super fun. That went pretty well, I would say. Okay. Got 3 more tracks to go here, and then we will be done with the DLC waves. Snowland has ice physics. The traction here is really terrible. I want to shout out the 200cc time trial record combo, which is a max traction combo using the cushion tires, the Streetle, and Koopa Troopa. It is ridiculous. Unfortunately, we have to play it with Roy, so we are going to be sliding around quite a bit. I never actually mentioned the build here. I've been talking about mini turbos a lot. Mini turbo is the best stat in this game. It's a hidden stat, but it looks similar to acceleration. That's why we use Biddy Buggy and roller tires and Cloud Glider. You can also use Paper Glider or Parachute or Flower Glider. Those all have the same stats. The roller tires have the same stats as well. Blue and red, they're exactly the same. It's just preference. I like Roy with the pink Biddy Buggy and the blue tires and the white Cloud Glider for a trans rights cart. Absolutely. Snowland is very, very tough to do quickly with this combination because we have pretty low traction, actually. We do have max mini turbo from our cart pieces. We pick all of the cart pieces that give us the most mini turbo. And then we get most of our top speed from playing as a heavy character, but not the heaviest character, because we still want more mini turbo stat if possible, which is why we use Roy, Donkey Kong, Waluigi instead of Bowser, Dry Bowser, or Wario. Those guys are a little bit faster with top speed, but a little bit slower with mini turbo. So they are used in some time trials. That Snowland was pretty good. Next up, we have Mushroom Gorge. This track has super bounces, which is when I will release a mini turbo right before a bounce pad, and it will make me go very, very fast. There are 3 super bounces per lap. I'm going to try to get all 3 of them. There is a 4th one that you can do that will land you on the railing, and I want to shout out Technical for being the person to both discover it and be the first person to get it 3 for 3 in a time trial, literally this morning. I will not be going for that strat because it is absolutely absurd. That's 1 super bounce, and another, and I already did one earlier that I didn't actually comment on, but yeah, whatever. That was actually a really good lap 1. And I'm gonna shut up to focus for laps 2 and 3 because this track is really, really difficult. That's not a super bounce, this one is. Okay. Good. 1 more lap. This track is so difficult. It looks a lot easier than it is. This is probably the hardest track in Wave 2, in my opinion. It's this or Waluigi Pinball. No. Well. One interesting thing, DLC Wave 2 actually changed Lakitu's mechanics. Lakitu will bring you forward more often than before, which is kind of interesting, kind of nice. A lot of the time, Lakitu would bring you very far back, and it was very frustrating, but some AI changes made Lakitu a little bit more forgiving on most tracks. Some tracks are actually worse. Yoshi Circuit, if you go for the waterfall skip and miss it, Lakitu puts you in a worse spot than he used to, which is frustrating. Makes missing waterfall cut even worse, but we don't have to do that in this category. Here we have Sky High Sundae. This is another new track for Mario Kart Tour. Ninja Hideaway and Sky High Sundae are both tour tracks, despite the fact that they're not labeled as such. This track came out on Mario Kart Tour the day after it came out on Mario Kart 8, and it has the exact same assets upscaled. It's... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. I didn't mention that part. Yeah, so this track has F-Zero gravity from Mute City and Big Blue from bonus tracks. We are always on anti-grav, and the gravity is just lighter, so we are able to float to the finish line there and take that corner cut, and that is really fast. I'm gonna go for it again in laps 2 and 3 here. Gonna just hop off. Yeah. It's very fun. It's very fun. Trick here. I want to highlight this right here. So I'm doing a spin there and tricking, and the way that F-Zero tracks work, you don't get your boost from tricking until you land. So I'm spinning to get the boost off of the anti-grab section, getting that boost, and then finally getting the trick boost once I land. It makes that section really fast and really cool. And here's the last skip. Time is on the finish line here. And time. What was my time? 28:01. Wow, nice. My personal best is a 27:40 something, but I haven't done very many runs of both waves together. 28:01 is a really good time, honestly. The record, if I remember correctly, is like a 26:50 something by either Pianist or Scar. I don't remember. It's a really fun. The DLC is really fun. It's the fastest category already, being the first category to get under 27 minutes. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thank you all for donating. Continue donating to the marathon. It's a really, really good cause, Children's Cancer Research Fund. Thanks. If you're interested in running the game, you can find a link to the Mario Kart 8 Discord at speedrun.com/mk8dx. You can find me at twitch.tv/amber_cxc or horns.gay, and Twitter, amber_cxc. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of the marathon. We've got a really good show for you, so stay tuned for more.